Stop saying what you gon' do till you do what you said. When you opened that Bible, you knew what you read. You felt it deep in your soul. The promise did not expire. Be inspired.
I can see beyond the tears you cry and the pain you feel. I saw every hill you had to climb just to make it here. When you say you ain't afraid to die, is it faith or fear? Yo, what up, people? I'm your host, Jay Will, and I would like to welcome you to Inspire God's People, where we balance faith and business to guide you to your purpose. This is Bitcoin versus everybody. 5 reasons why you should buy. Look, we're going to dive deep into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And for a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, answer that question, should you buy Bitcoin? You know what I'm saying? Look, here's what happened. Bitcoin crossed over $100,000 this week, last week, whatever you want to call it, within the last few days. I want to say it hit as high as $103,000 for one Bitcoin for the first time in history, right? So we hit some all-time highs. And just like always with investing in cryptos in particular, you know, once that happens, then, you know, the headlines are out there. People want to know, like, bro, what's this? Like, people who, you know, kind of said forget Bitcoin a couple years ago. Some people had some Bitcoin, bought a little bit. The price went down. They ain't thought nothing about it. It hit 100,000. Now everybody like, yo, what should I do? And then, of course, you got people that's just like, hey, buy this, buy that, buy that. This is not that video. Listen, if you're a person that's like trying to get rich quick, you ain't into learning, you don't want to really educate yourself on it, you can still watch. I want you to watch. But this video in particular is about people that want to, I'm here to try to pique your interest about this topic in a way that's not lying to you and promising you a whole bunch of money and riches, but at the same time is more so giving you some of the tools and background information and a little bit of history and what Bitcoin is, why it is, so on and so forth. And those tools can lead to you making some money, but it's definitely going to take some effort on your part. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should buy. Like the 5 reasons that if you fit this type of person, or you can answer yes to these questions, then you are probably the person who should buy Bitcoin. And for this particular video, if you know you can't answer yes to most of the things I'm gonna say, it's probably not for you. At least it's not being recommended by me. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, people. But let me say this. Let me talk my talk a little bit. I'm joking. Here's the thing, though. I have been investing in crypto for about, I started actually in 2017, but I would say, you know, I was one of those people that invested, kind of left, came back. And then for the past 4 years, now going on 5 years since 2020, I've been investing and studying cryptocurrencies in depth. And I'm not just talking about it today. This is a self-development show that balances faith and business. But we have talked about cryptocurrencies over the course of the past 4 years. I have at least maybe 4 episodes dedicated to cryptocurrencies and NFTs and different things, for the reason that as part of self-development, we talk a lot about finances and money on this show, and talk about death to poverty. So for me, it's like, I'm trying to kill poverty in my life. Well, it's dead in my life, but in my circle, people around me, friends, family, anybody I know, it's like, yo, I'm trying to give as many tools as I can. I'm not the smartest person on the internet. I'm not the richest person on the internet, but I am a real person, and I'm not a person that's here to lie to you and tell you all these weird things or get you to invest in stuff that you don't need to be investing in. So again, we're going to jump into this video, but I had to give all those little disclaimers so that we kind of filter down to the right people that are interested and at least understanding a little bit what cryptos are. Keep in mind, this is a huge topic. I am not going to be able to cover everything in this video, but please do comment or email me. Let me know if you are interested in hearing more or different aspects of it. I'm not going to be able to answer questions in DMs and stuff like that, because that stuff can add up. I am kind of busy. But if you leave your messages and things, it will give me an idea maybe what you want to hear more from me about this topic. All right, now let's jump into it. First things first, I do want to say this. Back in, what was it? Back in 2021, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do a really quick plug to this podcast, people. This is Inspire Guys People. And for a lot of y'all, you know, you might have known about Inspire Guys People. Let me get it to a view that, there you go, a view that makes sense. There we go. Put me there. You might have known about Inspire Guys People from like Facebook or YouTube or whatever, but we have a whole archive of episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you look here, episode, where is it? 146 on December 6, 2021, cryptocurrency for regular people. I am not dummies, regular people. I'm going to advise you to go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, look up Inspire Guys People, and go and listen to episode 146. And if you look down here, even episode 143 was Welcome to the Metaverse. And we have our whole archive. I'm going to spin through here and you'll see, bam, that's Inspire Guys People. So just a heads up for anybody who is interested in checking out the podcast. This is the, the cover that'll pop up. All right, enough about all that. I just want you to know we got some episodes where we dig deep and I break down like cryptocurrencies and what they are. So first things first, let's kind of jump into the market itself, right? Let's look at the market and try to understand what's going on out here. Like, what is happening? Where's my coin market cap? Oh, there we go. All right. Let me make sure that y'all can see this because somebody told me, all right, there we go. Somebody told me the other day they couldn't see my screen when I was sharing because I kind of zoomed in and it made it blurry. So let's go. This is coinmarketcap.com. This is the first thing you could take from here. If you want to know about cryptocurrencies and you want to be able to follow them and things like that, coinmarketcap.com is how you can track all things crypto, right? And so here's the first thing. I know it looked like a lot is going on here. I'm going to point out a couple of important things on this page that'll help you. This first box right here is trending coins. That's pretty straightforward. Things that are trending upward, things that are trending downward, that's your trending coins. All right, so let's go here to the right, market cap. $3.66 trillion is the total market cap of all crypto. And so that gives you an idea of like, from a value standpoint, when we think about thousands of cryptos, they're all just worth 3.6 trillion. And I do say just talking about trillions, just because if you compare it to other asset classes or whatever, you'll see that we're still in the infant stages of crypto itself. Fear and greed. This is really important. We are at extreme greed right now at 82. So this is something that really give you an idea when I could tell you a few months ago, 6 months ago, whatever, don't quote me on the exact time, sometime this year, this was down to like 29. Right. So that means that we're kind of in a risky stage right now because everybody's being greedy. And when people are greedy, things are going up, but that also means things have the potential to be able to go down as well. So you got to understand your risk. And then the last thing I'll point out here is your Bitcoin dominance. This dominance means that out of that $3.66 trillion, that Bitcoin is reflective of 54% of that, right? Because Bitcoin is worth 1.9 trillion. And Ethereum is 13.21% of that, valued at 482 billion. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, your top two coins. As we go down on this page on CoinMarketCap, you will be able to see that this has all of the cryptos in order based on their market cap. So again, Bitcoin is 1.9 trillion and you got Ethereum at 482 billion. All right. Whew. That was a lot of stuff right there, bruh. We talking about a lot of stuff. What I'm trying to do right now is just give you the basics of like, where do I go if I want to know? Like, where's the website? What do I do if I'm just like, bruh, I just want to know what it is for myself and look around? This right here, you say like, you put a bookmark on this page, coinmarketcap.com. That's going to this is like the entryway to the galaxy of crypto. You can get almost anywhere from this starting point. Bam. I just made it worth you listening right there. All right, so now let's look at Bitcoin itself real quick. So click in there. You could click on any of these cryptos and you see all this information about the crypto. Oh, it's a lot going on. You can see the chart in the last day, right? Down 0.9%. You could look in the last 7 days. It's up 3.5%. All right, cool. Last month, it's up 31%. All right. in the last year. Look at that, up 130%. That means that literally just if you went to, let's see, January 1st last year, it was 44. That was this year. January 24th this year, Bitcoin was $40,000. And you could see like how this has progressed and the ups and downs over the last year. And then let's just zoom out to all. Look at that. That's a heck of a chart right there. Hey, if you would have had the foresight, and I say you, not me, like I did it, but if you had the foresight back in March 31st, 2013, Bitcoin was just $92 for one Bitcoin. Don't you wish we all would have just took a cool $1,000 and bought 10 Bitcoin right now and have a cool milli? Woo! Look at that. Man, talk about missing out. What was you doing in 2013 in March? Probably wasting your money. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick, let me take a quick pause on that real quick and just say this. As you think about the importance of like understanding all the stuff you hearing, right? It's headlines everywhere. You just hearing 100,000. And what happens is people are so quick to react to that. But it's important to understand like this has been around now for, 12, 13 years or whatever. This asset has been around for a lengthy amount of time. I think it's closer to 15 actually, but it's up and it's down. It's up and it's down, but it goes up over time, right? And that's where you're trying to figure out, where am I at on this roller coaster? Before you invest a dime, you need to investigate. Ooh, I like it. Before you investigate. What I'm trying to do is slow you down a little bit, not with the intention of stopping you, but with the intention of giving you the real information you need to move forward, because the internet is full of people. Again, some of these people are way smarter than me, by the way, but you know what I'm saying? They ain't from 7 Mile. I'm from 7 Mile. So maybe that gives me some type of value to be able to kick it with you. Maybe you from 7 Mile too, or the equivalent of 7 Mile in your city. And even if you're not, I'm also suburban and I can talk that route as well. All are welcome here at Inspire God's People. Thank you for listening, buddy. Yeah. My point is, we got to slow it down sometimes and understand what's going on from the bigger picture. So let's jump back into it and look a little deeper into this Bitcoin situation. All right, so what I want to do now is something that I think is interesting, and that is look at just this whole idea of what is Bitcoin to start off with. So Bitcoin, this is called the Bitcoin white paper, right? If you never heard of this one, buddy. I got to change my bad. I got to share that screen, bro. I'm going to the Bitcoin white paper right now, which is actually going to tell you this is how it started. This is the original paper that kicked off Bitcoin by this pseudo-anonymous person called Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, this is where it gets real crazy. Nobody knows who this is. I think it's a documentary on like Netflix or something like that. I didn't watch it because I know they don't know who it is, and I don't know how they, whoever they said was it. I don't believe that's it. But we don't know really for sure who Satoshi is, right? So back in 2008, I believe Satoshi wrote this white paper. It's like 5 pages. We're not about to go through it, but I do want to just read to you some of what is called the abstract before the intro. So I guess that's the foreword or whatever it is, but just a little bit of thought around like what this person was thinking when they created this. And they did create this. Whoever they may be, I don't know. I don't even want to. That part right there is so creepy and weird to me. I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. Like, who did this? Was it some government? Was it some, like, that's some really weird stuff. But here we are nonetheless. Abstract. So we're talking about what is Bitcoin from the original. This is like reading a history book. From the original source that was creating Bitcoin, what is it? A purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash. This is what they're saying before. Would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. Digital signatures provide part of the solution, but the main benefits are lost if a trusted third party is still required to prevent double spending. We propose a solution to the double spending problem using a peer-to-peer network. The network timestamps transactions by hashtagging them into an ongoing chain of hash-based proof of work, forming a record that cannot be changed without redoing the proof of work. All right, so I'm going to just say this to you. Satoshi is describing here is that Bitcoin is intended to be this peer-to-peer payment network without a middleman, with this transparent ledger, which is called the blockchain now. And instead of you sending me something and then the bank got to process it and things like that, me and you on this technology called Bitcoin are able just to send money back and forth. Now, I'm not going to read none of this, but I'm going to just show you quickly. Look, he got like calculations and examples of what it all means. You could go on here yourself through CoinMarketCap and just go to Bitcoin and hit white paper. But you'll see, like, look at these calculations. Like, it's some calculations like a mug in there. And then bam, what do you know? Boom, we have Bitcoin. So I want to say this when you think about what it is. Let's make this simple, bruh. What is Cash App? Think about this. If you want to send me money right now through Cash App, you got to send me the money, right? But what does it have to do? It has to be connected to a bank. We send that money over, and then the bank needs 4 days or whatever. They're the middleman. They need 4 days or whatever to process it. So what we're dependent on is this middleman of the bank that's also going to take some fees from us, right? To say, hey, you want to pay such and such. Well, the bank needs their portion. Visa, MasterCard needs their portion. By the time you done getting your money, it ain't even the money that you sent, which fees are still a part of this equation. But it's like who the fees are going to, I think that matters. But ultimately, Cash App, there are sometimes, right, if somebody Cash App you right now, you can't even get that money sometimes. You got to wait on your bank, all this stuff. So that's a way to look at it. Or Venmo or all these other things. And I know there are some ways to get cash direct. But in the background of the way we send money today, in the background is a bank or some financial institution that is really the central figure that's kind of controlling the transaction, right? If I go to Macy's right now and give them a card, that card, what happens is on my bank statement, I will see a pending statement. They're waiting for, in the background, all of these companies to approve that I have this money in my account. And then it's all these third parties in the background where if you think about blockchain technology, you're basically just peer-to-peer. Everything is on an open ledger with no centralized figure controlling it. I know that was a lot, right? That was a lot of information. But what I'm ultimately saying is that we are thinking about a decentralized open ledger. So it's giving money, exchanging money on an open network that everybody can see. You hold your own money, I hold my own money. We can send money from wallet to wallet. And then ultimately, the network is confirming, not MasterCard or your bank confirming as that middleman person. And the beautiful thing about it is that the network is not a centralized organization. The network is decentralized as well. So you can be a part of the network. I can be a part of the network. What this is all about is that the way I look at it is that it's power to the people. Ultimately, in a lot of the systems today, you know, regular everyday people are not able to participate in the wealth gaining opportunities. There's a lot of politics and things involved in making money. Doesn't mean that you can't make money. A lot of people make money. But I'll give you an example. Like as a black person, you always just hear growing up, all the barriers to all these things for people of color and stuff. And it's like everything that our ancestors went through, like, great. I love history. I talk about slavery and things like that on this show and understanding that stuff. But I'm the type of person that's like, yeah, at some point you got to sell me the solution, bruh. Like, sell me the part where I'm sorry, respectfully, like, I am living in 2024. I have to fight the battles of 2024 with respect for the battles that went on behind me. But I don't want to act like I'm living in 1960. Like, we are living in a time where you have the opportunity to break the cycle of poverty in your own life if you're willing to. This is part of that to me. All right, so now, understanding this peer-to-peer network, don't get confused about all the geeky technology stuff. Understand this one thing. The creation of Bitcoin created the blockchain, which is simply put a technology. Let's look at all this as technology and stop like trying to like, sometimes you can like dig so deep and like try to uncover, peel back so many layers that you confuse yourself. On the most simple way possible, the creation of Bitcoin and this open ledger network created this whole new technology. Just like the internet was a new technology. And I want you to think about the internet. We didn't really understand it when it first, like when it was first being commercialized or growing. We didn't really understand email. Imagine like talk to your grandma about email. Like I'm sure I got to ask my granny, do she got email? I'm sure she ain't never sent the email. She's in her 80s, right? There's sometimes when technology comes along, like some people are just so outdated, they don't understand it. That can mean you're old, or that could just mean you're just outdated in your mind, that you're not able to see where things are going. So you're stuck in the past. So you're the person with a flip phone right now. You're the person that's still walking around with a Walkman on your head because, you know, that's how you want to listen to music. It's like, I get it. All technology is not good, but you have to view this as technology. So with that said, what's really interesting is, and we're going to come back to Bitcoin, but I really want to share with y'all what I believe is actually the most interesting part of cryptocurrency, and that is the blockchain technology itself. What happened is this whole new network and this whole situation created a new opportunity. And that's where Ethereum came along. And so Ethereum came along, and look at Ethereum as like Apple or Samsung. And they created like the first layer 1 network, this open network. A lot of this stuff is really the same as what we already know. It's just that in the world today is decentralized. And in this, you know, new era, it is decentralized. And what do I mean by that? You can't invest in the Apple iOS system, right? You can invest in Apple as a company, as a stock, but you can't break Apple down and then like invest in the parts of it. You can't invest in the parts of the internet like JavaScript or HTML. But there are all these aspects of the internet that you don't think about, but they're happening in the background. That's technology. In this decentralized world, the reason that it confuses people is because now we can actually invest and become a part of the network of the pieces of the technology. All right, don't let me confuse you with that. What am I saying? Ethereum is a network that's built on top of what Bitcoin created as the blockchain. Remember, because these things are open source, anybody can go build on top of these things. So again, I can't do that because I'm not a coder or a developer, but you have all these developers out there that see this open source technology that's just sitting there, and they're like, oh wait, we can use that as the base layer to go create new things. And so Ethereum was a smart contract layer 1 system that is basically like iOS, where you can create apps on it. But the apps in cryptocurrency are called dApps, decentralized applications. Remember, we're talking about the same stuff, just in the digital world and decentralized. So that's how I simplify some of this stuff for myself. It's like, it's really what I already know. I have an iPhone. I go into the iPhone in the App Store, and there's all these applications that's built on top of the technology. Do I have to understand the technology to know that Facebook is an app that I want to be on, or Instagram is an app that I want to be on? No, they are built and they're a part of this system, this closed system in the Apple iStore. Ethereum is an open system, right? All right, I know that's like crazy, but as you look at these open systems, think of it this way. Now people, coders, companies, all types of people are going and building new infrastructure on top of this new decentralized technology that is really going to be something that the world adopts as we move forward. What I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you actual information, news, headlines that's happening today. And my fear for most people is this, and this is why I'm so adamant about this stuff, about understanding it and researching it, is because I talk to people, and when I say poor people, I'm not talking about your financial situation, I'm talking about your mindset. Because to me, the mindset is more powerful. Like, somebody could have a couple dollars and think that they're not poor-minded anymore, and they're walking around in a poverty mindset. I come from poverty, so I speak about this junk with a certain like rawness. So I don't want you to be offended if you still there just because I'm being a little raw and calling it out, because I'm like more of a tough love type of person. I don't think I'm better than you. My friends, family, people around me, like poverty is still very much like close to me in various ways, right? So I'm talking about this because I want to see people come out of it. Poor people are arrogant. I'm telling you right now, poor people, being poor makes you think you know about money, because I think it's a defense mechanism to use as an excuse to why you poor. And what I'm selling you today is being poor in 2024 is a choice. All right. I know that there's exceptions to the rules. Don't take offense to that. But you young, you willing and able. You can go learn every new dance. You can learn the lyrics to every song. You can learn how to upload videos to Facebook. You can learn this. And the difference is this can make you blank. All right. So now that I went through all of that, I'm going to talk about a couple interesting things that I think the blockchain has allowed that's going to be dope in the future. One of those things is let's go back. I'm going to go back to Ethereum, because I think this is dope. Let me get this pulled up. All right. So this idea that I just talked about with dApps, right? Where's Ethereum? Okay. So this is really dope. This is right on Ethereum's website, ethereum.org, right? Can y'all see that? Make sure y'all can see. Okay, dope. Y'all can see. So Ethereum, dApps, explore dApps. Here, right on their website. A lot of dApps are still experimental, testing the possibilities of decentralized networks. But there have been some successful early movers in the technology, financial, gaming, and collectible categories. So these are some of the categories where you could find dApps. Just like in Apple, you can find apps, right? So it's really the same thing where you have these applications that are built on top of this technology. But I'm going to give you an example. And here, like, look down here. This is a lot of the dApps, right? I keep saying apps. This is a lot of the dApps. So you could go in here and just explore insurance dApps, liquid staking, prediction markets. I'm really interested. Gaming is an interesting one to me, and I'm gonna tell you why. So you got all these games, right, that are built on these dApps. So let me explain a little bit of this from a gaming perspective, right? You got all of these games out here, and this goes into NFTs. So let's talk about NFTs in particular. And I did a whole podcast about this, so you can go to it later, right? NFTs are really just proof that you own something digitally. So at the end of the day, if you come to my house and I have a picture of a Van Gogh and I tell you it's the authentic one and it's mine, I own a $68 million, piece of art. Basically a piece of art on a wall that's worth more than my whole neighborhood combined. Okay, cool. So if I try to convince you that this is the authentic Van Gogh, there are ways you can authenticate it. Maybe the most simple way is like, hey, do you even see his signature on there, right? But I can replicate that, so it may be deeper than that. My point is, you at least know I own it because you're there physically, and you know that, like, okay, if you were able to authenticate it, you would be able to say he owns the authentic Van Gogh because he got the signature or the stamp or whatever it is on there, right? In a digital world, I could show you a screenshot of something and just tell you I own it. And it's like, well, how is there proof that you own it? Basically, because remember, crypto is open source. The difference is if I own an NFT, which maybe you could look at as just a picture, like art in my house, but if it's a valuable picture or if it's just something that is trendy or noteworthy, like I can prove to you through crypto that I own the original because it's stamped on the blockchain and it's irreversible and it's open ledger. Now, what does that mean? If your kids play Fortnite or your kids play Roblox or stuff like that, my nephews and nieces play these games and they call you or text you like, hey, I need some money for Roblox. I need some money to buy a skin on Fortnite. Okay. The money that you give them to buy the thing in the game, they don't actually own it. Why? Because they can't take it out of the game. They can't do nothing with it. The difference in crypto gaming is what you're going to see in the future. And this stuff is happening now, but it's so hard. Like it's in that transition stage. Things like Fortnite and all of that, what if you can actually own the skin? So let's say I buy a hat in Fortnite, but I own it, meaning I can like transport it from to different games. Maybe it evolves from a game to another game, but it's something I actually own, and I can pull up a wallet and show you I own that. The value in that from a gaming perspective is now all these things you've been collecting, you own them and you can sell them. So instead of, let's say, asking your mom for $5 more, maybe she gave you all this money throughout the year, but you got these skins that's worth something, and now you can trade peer-to-peer trading. You could sell another kid or another person your NFT from your game, and then you can make money to buy another one. I know this all might be a lot. Here's what I want you to take away from it before I get into the 5 reasons why. At the end of the day, we're talking about technology here. And I'll tell you something. If I could go back 20 years and invest $100 in Apple, $100 in whatever, Netflix or whatever, would I do it? Of course I would, because the technology changed the world. Amazon changed the world. What happens with some of us is we are like Kodak. We so stuck in the old way. We're like DVDs that we like, I don't believe in Netflix. I don't think, Blockbuster is where I go watch my movies. Netflix is stupid. Technology evolves so fast that you have to be the type of person that has foresight to invest or even try to understand technology, because it's moving so fast, and it's really a lot of times about what is going to be versus what is. And some people are so stuck in what is that they can't understand. Like, imagine trying to explain to somebody in 1991 what social media is. Like, yeah, I'm going to upload a video and I'm going to be like talking to people on the video live from my studio, and like they're going to be able to comment or be right there and be like, no, I don't believe that. That's crazy. Right? Because technology is really about the future. Overall, you might have an opportunity here to be a part of the greatest generation of wealth in our history. I'm not saying that's the case. It seems like that might be the case to me, but I also understand that it's risky, and you can't just jump in without understanding something, because if you do, yes, other people might make money, but you jumped in trying to get rich quick because your cousin brother said you should do this, and you ain't even know what you were doing, and you lost your little money. And I don't want you to lose your little money, right? Because we all need our little money. So my point is, if we could focus somehow to get people to thinking about the education and understanding of the technology and what it is, then now the possibilities are endless. Because if I told you 20 years ago that the internet is going to be this thing with like all these websites and people going to be on there all day, how many of y'all just on your phone like this all day on TikTok and looking at reels? That wouldn't have made sense to you 10 years ago. So some of this technology ain't going to make sense all the way because it's new and it's developing. But you have an opportunity to be a part of the development. All right, let's go a little deeper. Here's the other part where I think crypto is going to really be a part of everybody's lives, and that is stable coins. So if we go back, I'm going to go back to CoinMarketCap really quick. Okay. I want you to look at something. If we go back to the home page and we're looking at the top cryptos here, right? Now look at number 4, Tether. Look at the price of Tether. It's $1. Where's USDC? Look at the price, number 9, USDC, 0.9999 Okay, let's call it $1. These are called stable coins. Now, the interesting thing about these, there's a bunch of different stable coins. The interesting thing about stable coins, like a Tether, is that these just stay at $1, right? And you'll see like roughly at $1, it may peak to point some decimals up and down, but it's pegged to be at $1. Here's why this is important. Because what some people can't understand is like, well, if blockchain, and Bitcoin goes up and down, how am I going to use it as a currency when the price is always over the place? Well, here comes stablecoins. Stablecoin is a cryptocurrency that is always at $1. This is a digital dollar on the network. There are different ones for different networks, but you could be on a particular network using this digital dollar, and you could send it to somebody just like Cash App. And you could do this today. I'm going to actually show you something. I'm going to show you PayPal. PayPal has this today. PayPal is actually involved in cryptocurrency through stablecoins right now. Right now, they got a stablecoin on the Solana network. All right, so we're on PayPal.com. PayPal stablecoin, built for payments. A 1-to-1 peg to the USD on PayPal. So their stablecoin is called PYUSD. All right. It's a stablecoin backed by secure and highly liquid assets. Buy, sell, hold, and transfer it all on our app or on our site. But here's stablecoin simplified by PayPal. It's backed by reserves. So PayPal USD is designed to maintain a stable $1 USD value. Therefore, it's called stablecoin. It's backed by dollar deposits, US treasuries, and cash equivalents. That means that they have to back the stable coin that you have digitally with real money to be able to issue it to you. Okay. So that is what's giving that dollar that you have on the network value, is because you're on their network and they have the cash reserves to account for what they're giving you in that token. Here's the real value. Easy in, easy out. Buy, sell, hold, and transfer PayPal USD on our app or on our site. Send it to friends in the US on PayPal without fees. Without fees. Or send to Ethereum and Solana wallet addresses that accept PYUSD in just a few steps. The network fees may apply. But okay, I'm going to talk about that because I just said without fees, and I'm going to make that make sense. And you can also check out on PayPal and more. My point here is just to simply tell you, that PayPal, a brand that you know and likely trust, a big company, they're already in crypto. Fidelity, I can't think of everything. I'll go through it on the website. I just said Fidelity, one company. I got a list of companies that are already in cryptocurrency. My point, MasterCard, Visa. These companies are already either partnering with crypto companies or invested themselves or putting out their own tokens. So what happens so many times with the common people, which is really hasn't been the case with Bitcoin, the common people is what made this big, and the institutions are getting involved. The reason I'm emphasizing this, like PayPal, MasterCard, that they're involved, is because now the big money is in it. And when the big money gets in something, that's how the rich get richer, baby. They're like, you could just kiss it goodbye, right? If you could sit on the sidelines and these people gonna make all kind of money, and then just don't complain that you didn't have an opportunity. That's really my thing with everybody, is like, don't complain that you didn't have an opportunity to change your life, to learn something. We put a lot of effort and energy into learning things that don't produce nothing. Like I said, people could become an expert in all type of stuff, and something that actually can produce value for you and your family and give you the opportunity to change your life, and you can't spend time actually like sitting and thinking through it. Like, that's on you. That's on you. It ain't my fault. All right. So what am I saying? At the end of the day, these companies like PayPal already have where you can send fees. Now I'm gonna tell you, I told one of my friends about this that needs to send money to somebody, right? And they were getting all these fees to send the money the way they were sending it. Now they're sending on PayPal USD without the fees. Now, the thing about it is, if you go on like Solana or Ethereum and you start transmitting it on there, you'll have their network fees. And I don't want to get too deep in that, but Ethereum has higher fees. But all these there are a bunch of Ethereum type blockchain layer ones is what they're called, like similar to iOS and things. The networks you can build on top of are called layer ones. Those layer ones like Solana have low fees. That's why PayPal went with Solana. Fast transactions, low fees. And so now I can send you money on PayPal instantly. I don't even have to Cash App. I could just PayPal you a PayPal USD instantly without fees. That's what we're talking about, the future of technology. And that's just one use case for how the technology can be used. I want to give you some insight. Real estate companies. You ever closed on a house? That process of closing and like proving all this stuff and the title and the deed, that stuff takes time. You got to mail stuff. Imagine if your title or your deed is just the NFT on your phone. It's like, yep, boop, transfer. It's yours now. Oh, money. There you go. We're closed. There you go. There's the money. All of these things, there are real estate organizations, real estate companies. These companies are building on the blockchain, just like we have the internet with all of these companies and all of these sites, and it feels like it just happened overnight. Like, yeah, people have to build, and you have to understand you're early enough in the technology, maybe to find things to invest in and grow some wealth. It's a lot of risk. We're going to talk about that, but you're not the earliest, and especially in this particular cycle. Bitcoin hitting 100,000. I'm just gonna tell you, like, people like myself who've been in this market for the past few years, we've been waiting on this because we were investing early on when nobody was paying attention. And so what happens now is what people want to do is called FOMO, fear of missing out. A lot of people just jump in and start investing at the top. And I'm not saying this is the top. That's not my point. But you have to understand where we're at in the cycle and what my risk tolerance is for investing. You should never invest more than you can afford to lose. All right, couple more things I want to kick it to you about before we get into these 5 reasons. So we talked about dApps, cool, talked about the Bitcoin white paper, talked about stablecoins. Okay, now I want to show you these companies that are in cryptocurrency, right? This is according to Yahoo Finance. According to Yahoo Finance, these are the companies that are currently, let me go up here and read it. This list tracks public non-cryptocurrency companies that have exposure to crypto, either through investments, partnerships, or side ventures. Yahoo Finance will update this list as new companies enter the crypto space. So I just want to give you a list of some of the companies. Okay. NVIDIA, that's, you know, the big AI company. They produce like the chips for AI. Microsoft, heard of them before. Visa, heard of them before. MasterCard, Goldman Sachs is another one. PayPal, we talked about. Block, which used to be called Square. The NASDAQ is on here. So here's my point with this. I just wanted to show you quickly that there are major companies and organizations already invested in crypto, and things are going to happen fast. The way technology works is one day Facebook comes out and the next day you're like, wait a minute, when did I just end up on Facebook all the time on my phone? Like, you don't even remember how it happened. Like, when did we just start walking around with phones in our pockets? I remember when I was a kid, you didn't like, cell phones was like something people put in their car when they were super rich or something. It's like, when did we just start having a computer in our pocket with the keys to the world to be able to look up and search anything? When did we start having Google and Siri and now Chat GPT? Like, technology is very fast. And what's happening is, if you are going to be slow, it's going to outpace you and run faster than you. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to say this time that you didn't have an opportunity to be a part of it. So I want to dig into a couple of things, couple more important things. I'm saying this specifically because somebody, and I'm only saying this because he said it on my comments, right? I wouldn't tell you this like, you know, homie, if you didn't put it in my comments, but you know, somebody I know in my comments, they were like, you know, saying why they don't believe in Bitcoin, right? Cool, much love. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I'm really trying to share information more than argue or debate. Like, if you ain't feeling it, like, I ain't mad at you. It ain't for you. Cool, no problem. But he said something in particular. He was like, I can't see no government getting into that and all this stuff. And I'm like, ooh, wait a minute, bro. I don't want to get all into the history of the government involvement, but I will tell you the government is now involved. Like, at the end of the day, the government is now involved in crypto. So a couple of things, man of God, what up? I am gonna, but do you think we'll be able to profit off? Okay, cool. I just talked about Ethereum, so you're gonna be able to see that on a replay, but I didn't talk about the investment piece. So I will talk about that in 1 sec after I make this point about Bitcoin. So hold on 1 second, I got you. So from the government involvement standpoint, I'm gonna say this. The SEC, right, which is technically responsible for like protecting Americans and our investments and holding people accountable, under the Biden administration, and I'm not the politics, look, this ain't about that, I'm just speaking facts. Under the Biden administration, Gary Gensler was the head of the SEC, and Gary Gensler, pretty much in the whole their Biden administration, they had, they did not like crypto. And so their position was, we're not gonna we're not gonna play the game with the crypto companies. We don't like them. We would rather have CBC, central bank CBCs, central bank currencies. So they basically create an environment in the U.S. where the crypto companies couldn't thrive. So a lot of people took their companies across the borders, and then the people that were here, that's why like XRP and stuff, you see what's happening is the Biden administration was suing those people. Gary Gensler and the SEC, what he would do is like not give them the regulations of the U.S. So imagine if you were driving on the street, right? Let's make this practical. You driving on the street. I'm the law. I won't tell you what the speed limit is. So I won't put up signs that say speed limit 50, speed limit 40. But I have cops aligned on the road. And when you do 35, I pull you over and say, hey, you speeding. And you like, yo, like, I don't want to speed, but you won't tell me what the speed, like you won't give me the rules. Imagine if I summoned you to court with a ticket when I didn't actually tell you what the speed limit is, but said in court that you broke the speed limit. That's how the Biden administration's SEC managed the crypto companies. So companies like XRP that wanted to abide by the U.S. regulation and they wanted to do things how the U.S. wanted them to, but the U.S. would not actually tell them what they wanted them to do. So these companies like Coinbase, XRP, they would go meet with the SEC and meet with the government and say, hey, give us the regulations and we will follow them. And then Gary Gensler-led SEC would never actually give those details. And so you had people that were operating and then would end up, quote unquote, breaking the law that they never really knew. That's why you've seen XRP go crazy since Trump was elected, because along with Trump's election, comes new assignments to the government positions. So Gary Gensler just recently, what did he do? Matter of fact, look it up, because I don't like people. I don't want to tell y'all a bunch of stuff and y'all can't look at it yourself, right? Like bump that. Let's look at what just happened recently. Let's look at what happened recently, and I'm gonna just share. Let's see. Let's go right to the SEC. Right, we gonna go to the source so y'all can see I ain't just talking crazy. Am I talking crazy? Let's dig into this. This is SEC.gov press release from, when is this from? Just say 2024. This had to be a couple weeks ago. All right, but nonetheless, oh, November 21st. This just a few weeks ago. Like I said, y'all thought I was lying, bruh? Come on, bruh. It says SEC Chair Gensler to depart agency on January 20th. Gensler implemented reforms to enhance efficiency, resiliency, and integrity in U.S. capital markets. Agency held wrongdoers accountable and returned billions to harmed investors. So that's their position. The SEC's position is like, yeah, he's resigning, but he did all this stuff. He held people accountable. What you see now, okay, let's look at what the other side of that is now. Trump SEC pick. Let's see what happens. Where is that at? I'm trying to find. All these people be so triggered by politics, it's hard to find. When you put in Trump, you just get, okay, let's go here. I don't even, NPR, let's see what this is. All right, but look, peep this. This just happened. I'm just answering a question of like governments being a part of crypto. I don't know what NPR is, so sorry. I heard of it before. Trump picks crypto backer Paul Atkins as new Securities and Exchange Commission chair. This was just on December 4th. Now, let's think about this. Okay, he's a crypto backer. So now you're starting to see, let's see, how do some of these things come together? I want to go and look at now the price of Bitcoin. You had November 21st and December 4th. Two very big announcements happen. So let's see. November 21st. Well, you had, first you got to look at the election, right? Back here on like the 8th or the 7th or something. You see Bitcoin was 76,000 on the 9th. And you just see like, bam, Trump gets elected, 80, 90. We stayed around 99 for a week or so. But you see where, what was it, the 20, like he might have resigned. Right up in here it was 90 something. Then it went up a little bit, went down. You see what happened December 4th, crypto is 94. They hire a new SEC person. And December 5th, it's 103. That's how this stuff works. December 4th, before the new SEC pick, it's 94,000. And they pick a new person, it goes to 103. I'm just really painting a picture to like the government is a part of it. Here's the last thing I'll say about that. For somebody who thinks like the government, like that whole idea that the government ain't gonna be a part of this stuff, I'm gonna show you one more thing. I just want to show you. I really just want to show you because my thing is like I ain't even trying to. I'm really not even telling you to whether or not you should invest in this stuff. Let's see what CNN said back on November 13th. I like looking at old stuff. CNN said this. This is what happened in November. This is how you got to understand like how this stuff come together. A Trump Bitcoin promise is what crypto fans once fought against. They love it anyway. What's the thing here? You see that behind him? Trump was a speaker at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville on July 27th. He spoke there. And you'll see the price more than doubled since the beginning of the year. Some analysts are projecting it could hit $100,000 by year end. My point here is this. We got to be educated in our thinking on this stuff. Whether you love it or not, I am not the person telling you to love this stuff. Technology is weird, it's creepy. You can't serve money anyway. Like, so you can't be out here loving money, can't serve God and money. This ain't about serving nothing or nothing like that. But here's what I want you to understand. Like, Trump spoke at the Bitcoin conference. The government is in this stuff. We now have a new crypto czar for the US. This is the last thing I'll pull up, and then I'll show you. Get into these reasons. Crypto czar. This stuff be dope to me. I'm sorry, man. Like, I be enjoying this stuff. Like, I really be enjoying this stuff. Let's see. So you just gotta, like, it's like when we understand how this stuff comes together. So look, this is according to time.com. What Trump's new AI and crypto czar David Sack means for the tech industry. So that's this guy, right? He's the AI and crypto czar for the US now. We've never had that position before. So what is my point? It's simple. It's that the governments are there. All right, so now I'm going to get into these 5 reasons why you should buy. But before I do that, I had a question about Ethereum. So one of the things I'm not going to do on this video at all, and one of the things I don't do in general, is I don't give people price predictions like this is going to happen or that, because the truth is I genuinely don't know. What I do is I process all of the information. I scour the internet for information, YouTube, to understand this industry. I've been studying it for 4 years now. So I'm somewhat, I don't want to call myself well-versed. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty well-versed and understand what's happening and why in a lot of cases, but it moves fast. So like sometimes I'm like behind because I stepped away for a day. But at the end of the day, investing is about understanding pricing trends, what's causing it to go up and down, and then managing your risk. Okay. This is all about how you manage your risk. So I want to pull up something as it relates to the price of Ethereum, because I do think that's a good question. So let's think about, like, as we look at prices. Okay. So let me go to Ethereum. Ethereum is tricky. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts and I'm gonna tell you why, but I want to preface this with saying I don't know. Okay. Here's the interesting thing. Let's look at the month, right? And you'll have it's a lot of people smarter than me when it gets into like technical stuff. I'm not that person. I'm a business guy. So I like to understand the business dynamics of stuff, the macroeconomic situation. And then that's how I kind of make my decisions. I'm not like a really technical person. It's people that can like get on here and start drawing lines on charts and all this stuff. And I follow some of them and listen and learn, but that's not my thing. I'm a business guy, right? So stuff to me, I'm practical. Like, hey, do I see iPhone being a big deal over BlackBerry or whatever. Like, yeah, I think iPhone is going to be dope. I trust Steve Jobs and his innovative nature and ... So that's how I look at this stuff. So when I look at Ethereum, it's a couple of pros and cons to Ethereum. So first, let's just look at the fact that over the last year, this is Ethereum over the last year. When you go to earlier this year, Ethereum was at $2,200. And the thing about it is Ethereum has really lagged a lot of the other cryptos. So it's a huge asset at $480 billion, right? But it's trusted and it's been around. So the way I view Ethereum is kind of like this. From a price action standpoint, the price has been suppressed for so long. It was, it kind of went up, didn't quite reach 4,000 throughout the year, kind of went down, and we just crossed 4,000 for the first time this year. So like, it would have been a great time to invest. November 4th, it was $2,300. A couple years ago, it was $800, $900. So those were times to invest. Right now, I think it's interesting. Like, it's $4,000 now. And when you look at, like, it's almost the all-time high was, what, 4,800. So it's entering all-time high territory. Based on everything I've read and I've gathered, Ethereum is like this. I think it's going to be around because a lot of those government institutions that I talked about, a lot of those big players, they're building on Ethereum. Remember, these are just networks that people can build on. It's not just like there's not one website or one company that's successful. You got Netflix, you got Tesla, you got Amazon, you got Apple, NVIDIA. There's all kind of companies a person could invest in to make money, right? And there's pros and cons to each of those companies. Cryptos are the same way. So when I look at Ethereum, I see like the institutional network layer. And that's like just things I've researched, smart people that I've heard talking about that. The sentiment with Ethereum seems to be, hey, it's the second largest, so it's not going on anywhere. And it's also too many things already built on it for it just to disappear. It's a lot of the big institutional money is building on Ethereum. But Ethereum, for an everyday user, when you're on the network, I've been on the network a bunch of times on different dApps and things, and Ethereum is expensive. It's not necessarily the retail chain that you would use. I think from a investment standpoint, I view Ethereum as a long-term kind of investment. I think in the short term, a lot of people think it can go 8 to 10,000. Some think it can go up to 15,000 in the next 6 months. I think that's probably going to happen. I would say 8 to 10 in my mind, not for sure. Nothing is for sure. I would look at Ethereum as like 8 to 10,000 is probably going to happen. Like, I would look at doubling your money with Ethereum in this cycle, to me, would be a win based on how it's performed. But keep in mind, like, man, something crazy happened in the world. This stuff is affected by things that we don't know. So I'm not giving price predictions as like an advisor or a professional or saying like, don't make any decisions based on my thoughts. I'm really just sharing my thoughts about how I see the price movement versus thinking that I can call where the price is going to be, because I'm just like everybody else, kind of wait and see. But again, for me, it was more of early investing, like the last few years. So if I was coming in today, I would not personally invest in Ethereum today because there are bigger opportunities depending on what my goals are. So I view Ethereum as a long-term investment, meaning if you buy it today at $4,000 and wait 5 to 10 years, it'll probably be $20,000. And so it'll be a good investment if you have a longer time horizon, right? So if it's like I'm investing over time and I understand that it's going to go up and down over time, I think Ethereum is cool. But here's one of the things you could do that's dope on CoinMarketCap. You could compare Ethereum to something else. So I'm going to show a chart comparing Ethereum to Solana. Let's look at this in the last year. The orange line is Solana. The blue line is Ethereum. In the last year, you see they started at the same point down here. Both were down. Solana was $8 a year ago. I think might have been a year and a half, but something like that. Solana has grown 250% in the same time that Ethereum has grown about 60%. That's just one example. I'm going to show you something else. This can get crazy. Let's compare Ethereum with what's something that's gone. Let's go Near, because I know Near has outperformed it. I like Near. Near Protocol. Oh, not as much. Near because that's a year though. Yeah, near really performed probably like if you go to a year and a half, because near was a dollar. Near was a dollar 2 years ago. Oh, no, I guess it's still the same, 250, all about the same. Near protocol, 250 versus Ethereum 60. So similar to Solana. My point with that is you have options outside of Ethereum that will probably go faster. My advice is to go on CoinMarketCap. This is one of the things I wanted to show y'all, actually. I'm going to go back to that. Go on CoinMarketCap, and let's go to the homepage. And you see here where you can see categories down here. These are different categories. So you can look at different ecosystems. So like Solana is a layer 1. You could look at the ecosystem, Ethereum ecosystem. You can look at like gaming coins. So this will give you like all of the gaming coins, Immutable X, Floki. Like, so then you could start, you'll just see that the possibilities are endless, but I'm going to do something. Let's go. I'm going to show you like when you click on this, and all these places got websites. You go to their website. Let me see how y'all seeing this. Okay, I got to stop sharing and reshare so y'all can see the new part. If you go, now we're on the Immutable X website. Now look at this. Immutable X, this is your hub for gaming. So like for me, if I was a gamer, I would be researching this company, right? It's like they are a company where basically a company where a bunch of games build on their blockchain. And so games are using their code to build on their layer. And they got all these games. So you invest in here and then you can go play. I mean, it's let's see. Let's stop sharing and reshare that. You can like click play. And there's all these, what I'm trying to show y'all now, like don't get bogged down in anything. I'm trying to show you the opportunities. I'm not telling you to buy none of this stuff. I'm telling you to investigate it. Investigate before you invest. There are games you can literally play already on the blockchain that exists, right? Let's stop sharing that. Let's go out of there. I want to show you another opportunity. Let's go back to categories and think about opportunities here, okay? Let's go home. Categories, RWA is an interesting one. Real world assets. So this is where you start thinking about how does the real world, when we talked about real estate and things, how does the real world start building on the blockchain and leveraging the blockchain? All right. And then what's dope over here is you see news on the right side. So you can like also read news about these things. All right, cool. Let's check out Ondo. So Ondo, if you go down, first of all, excuse me, let me see. Look at this chart in the last year. I mean, it's like just up 938%, right? But what is Ondo? That's the question. What is it? Let's go down here. This is an interesting one to me. What is Ondo? Ondo stands as a beacon in the realm of decentralized finance, aiming to democratize access to institutional-grade financial services. Founded in 2022 and based in the Cayman Islands, remember I told you a lot of people go offshore. Ondo operates through a unique ecosystem that bridges traditional finance with blockchain technology. The Ondo Foundation collaborates closely with Ondo Finance, its commercial partner, to support decentralized protocols and the tokenization of real-world assets. Okay, but here is the interesting thing about Ondo to me. Let's go. Can I go to their website? This stuff is so interesting to me because it's here. Like we talk about it, like on one hand, people talking to you about crypto, you focusing on Bitcoin, you focusing on one thing. But a lot of this stuff is actually here already. And so I'm trying to show you that it's here. Ondo Foundation is a new era of financial inclusivity on chain, right? So this is all about the financial industry. But look here, like they've been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Bank of America, Bloomberg, all these places are talking about this stuff. But they're all about tokenizing real world assets. And I want to show you something. Here's who supports them. The Ondo ecosystem is supported by a diverse range of institutional and crypto native partners and service providers. BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Coinbase, those are maybe the ones you may know. And when you think about BlackRock, we're going to take one last trip, and I promise I'm going to stop this because I know this might be a lot. When you think about BlackRock, this is what it says: building the transformation. They are thinking about how do you build, and they're building on Ondo. So they are building something on Ondo is my point. Here's what I want you to understand about all these crypto opportunities. Just like there's a bunch of companies in the stock market, just like there's opportunities, for investing. In crypto, there are all these opportunities because it's a new technology, and you're going to look up in the next 5 years and there will have been 100 opportunities to make money if you are a savvy investor. So now I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It's not what you think, though. Number 1, you are serious about researching and studying. If you are not a person that is, and I'm just being real with you, because a lot of other people ain't gonna be real with you because people make these videos to go viral, and I'm really just making this because I love talking about this stuff and I love sharing it, and I want to help as many people as I can in my community, in my circle. Like, I'm really like, this video is not gonna do a lot of numbers or something. Like, I know it's not, because people don't really spend time talking about this, and I'm like nerding out and I'm going too deep into it. It's probably not based on like what a video is supposed to be. This ain't a good video, but based on like substance and content, I believe this video can change somebody's life. So the first thing is that if you are not a person that's serious about researching and studying, I'm telling you right now, I would not advise you to dabble in this stuff. I know people do it. I know you got a friend or somebody that threw $1,000 blind at something, or $100 blind, and they made 10,000. Look, you got to understand something about me and the content I produce. I'm not a hustler. I don't love money. That's not my position. I'm a businessman. I love strategy, and I love finding things, and I love studying things. And so I'm kind of sharing that like along those lines, and trying to like share with those people who care about it in that way, who have like purpose behind why they want to make money and do things. But if you just like want to gamble and throw money blindly at stuff, like, by all means, I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you, like, the things I'm talking about that's not my target audience, because I think that's I view that like buying lottery tickets, which I don't do, because it's just a waste of money in a very like random way to try to get rich. Like me, I'm more about like, I want to look back on how I strategically did it. I'll write books. I'll like share with people like how I did it. If I just like go and like randomly throw money at things that I don't understand and like, oh, by the way, I made some money, that might work for some people. That's just not how I want to build wealth. So I believe that first you need to be a person that likes researching and studying, because you'll go and find your own things, and now you can like start building your chops. I'm really just pointing you in the direction of where the information and the resources are as a starting point to crypto. Again, it's people smarter than me. It's people way more advanced than me with this stuff, but I'm trying to meet my community and my audience where they are. All right, second reason why you should buy crypto. If you like to be at the forefront of new technology. Now, again, Jason, what up, fam? Happy you can make it, man. Happy you can make this. Definitely check out the replay if you haven't caught a lot of the information. I think it'll be valuable. But the second reason, if you like to be at the forefront of new technology. Now, me, I like new stuff. Like, I like new everything. Car, house, shoes. Like, I just like new. I'm not a person that like old stuff. But I love being like on the forefront of things. Like when new developments are happening, like I'm the person that's like, oh, I want to hear about that first. Like, because I want to understand what's coming, even if I agree with it or disagree with it, I want to understand it. So if you're a person that wants to be on the forefront of new technology and what I believe is going to be one of the greatest and fastest technological advancements in human history, it's going to happen fast. And you're going to look up and blink and be like, wow, I remember when like we were just trying to understand what cryptocurrency was. Now it's everywhere. But if you're a person that likes to be on the forefront, understand I wasn't on the forefront in 2017 and 2020 when I started really getting serious, more so in 2020. But we still early. You ain't on the forefront. We ain't the first people. We definitely ain't the smartest people with it, but you have an opportunity to be early in understanding this stuff. And I believe the more you understand it, the greater your opportunity for growth and managing money is. But in order to do that, you can't be a person that just gets involved when the hype is there, because this stuff is going to go down. Let me tell you something I learned about investing. Oh, it's going to go down. Everybody, oh, Bitcoin 100,000. It might go to 200. It might go to, I don't know where it's going, but I know eventually, just like interest rates for houses, they was low for some years and people was just buying up houses and selling them and it was great. And now you go in the real estate market and there's very little activity because those rates went up. There's always trends in the world. There's always a good time to buy, a good time to sell, a good time to hold, a good time to wait. And so they have a saying that time in the market is more valuable than timing the market. What a lot of people try to do is like, oh, Bitcoin is like popular. Let me try to jump in and make a couple dollars. You're trying to time it like double dutch. It's not again, you can get lucky, but that's not how most people make money. That's how most people lose money. Okay. I've lost money doing that before. So I'm speaking to you from actual experience. I've lost money trying to just jump in and like time something, but I've made money by understanding, researching, and growing and seeing where things are evolving over time. All right. Number 3 reason why you should buy crypto or Bitcoin. You have a realistic time horizon. Now, remember, I just talked about time in the market versus timing the market. I'm just going to be real with you. If you think you're about to get rich quick overnight with Bitcoin right now, bruh, that ain't it. Unless you putting $1 million in and you trying to take your $1 million to $2 million or 50,000 to 100, you probably can do that this cycle. Probably don't quote me on that. But the idea that you're going to put $100 in Bitcoin right now and you're going to be rich tomorrow, that's not how it works. You have to look at percentages. And I will, at the end of this video, once I'm done with these last couple, I will go back and look at some realistic time horizons that I believe are important to understand. And keep in mind, this video, this still just scratching the surface. I can never cover everything. I'm trying to throw enough stuff at you that you could go back to this video as a resource, that you could share this video with somebody as a resource, and you could say, all right, somebody talk to me about crypto, not just trying to convince me that they rich and made all this money and I should throw my money in it, but like more so from a real, like genuine place of like, yo, I really want you to, I do think you should pay attention and learn this, but I ain't promising you nothing. This video should have been called, I ain't promising nothing. I'm not promising no dollar amount. I'm not promising, I don't know where it's going. I've studied, I try to make educational investments, educated investments, not guesses necessarily. So that's how I look at it. Just like if you like sports and you ever watch a sports draft, NFL draft every year, it's a guy to go 1, 2, 3, whatever, those top 15 picks, maybe 2 of them turn into good players. Yeah. Those scouts just went and made educated guesses based on how the player was playing and where we thought they were going. That's how I look at investing. I try to research and read and say, okay, Trump spoke at the Bitcoin conference. We got a crypto czar. I see all these institutions getting into Bitcoin. It's $2 trillion. I don't think it's going to go out of business tomorrow. I don't think now that everybody's just going to walk away from it. I think in the long term, in the next 10 years, it has the opportunity to be astronomical. So my time horizon for Bitcoin is not get rich quick or overnight. My time horizon with Bitcoin is, hey, over the next 10 years, I'm just going to invest dollar cost average. Maybe I'm putting in $5 a week. Maybe it's $10 a week. It doesn't matter. I don't get into the amounts. I don't care how much money you have or don't have. We all have different goals. Money doesn't define us. It can't never just be the thing that defines you. Like, I don't need you to value me more because if I got money or if I'm broke or less, like, no, it ain't about that. This is literally about, this is your life. Like, take your life in your hands financially, be responsible, be a good steward. And you, like, for me, the time horizon for Bitcoin is, 5-10 years. Let's just see. Hey, I'm researching, I'm seeing, I think this is going to be a big deal. If I'm wrong, I never invest more than I can lose. I'm good, right? That's the game of investing. All right. Keisha Rob, what up? What up? Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate the fact that you finding value in it. All right. So let's, You have to have a realistic time horizon. You know, it's not smart to go into a $2 trillion investment and think that you're going to double it. That means you got to go to 4 trillion before you double it, right? Like, so when something's already large, you have to be realistic. Now, that on the flip side of this, when you are investing in a new technology, everything has the ability to go astronomically further than you could ever imagine. And that's what's interesting about it. I try to be conservative in my expectations and managing them. And also not just trying to get lucky, but being strategic. Again, that's I enjoy that. That's just me. You may not be like me. But at the end of the day, like, you have to understand the size of the asset you're invested in, and then the timing of the market and the world and what's happening. It all matters. If you blindly throw money at something you don't understand because somebody next to you made money, you're gonna lose money. And that's really what I want. I really want you to understand that. If you just chase these narratives and these headlines, smart people have already made money by the time the headline is written, okay? Number four reason why you should buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, you embrace risk and volatility. Now, when we talk about risk and volatility, all of these things are interconnected because time horizon is important in understanding risk. And I'm going to go back to coinmarketcap.com to show you what I mean here. And we're going to go back to Bitcoin. All right, let's get away from Ondo and all this other stuff. Let's go to Bitcoin. Time is a really interesting thing. So this is the Bitcoin chart, you know, in its totality. Now let's go back to 2017 or 2016. It was $583. Let's say when it went up to 19,000, everybody in 2017, everybody went crazy. I know they did, because that's when this is actually when I started investing, right here. When it was 19,000, I'm like, whoa, somebody at work mentioned it to me. I'm like, bruh, Bitcoin, what? I came in putting money in it, you know, a little bit of money. It wasn't a lot. But I'm thinking like, oh, I'm about to be rich based on what my homie said. Well, I didn't know the time I was entering was the top of that cycle, because these are cycles, right? Typically 4-year cycles. I don't have enough time to get into that in this video, but you have to understand the time that you're in the cycle. So if my time horizon was 2 months and I invested at 19, then I would have got to February and been mad, or March when it's $9,300. Like, wait a minute, I just bought Bitcoin at 19,000 and now it's 9,300. What in the world? And then imagine this, let's go a year later, 2 years later, 2019, it's just going down for 2 years. It's 3,800 now. So if my time horizon had been shorter, I would have been thinking this is the worst investment, calling it a scam, like everybody called it a scam. This is horrible. Take my money out and walk away, right? Well, then all you got to do is fast forward 2 years, and now it's 55,000. Wait a minute. So if I would have increased my time horizon and not react emotionally to all of the headlines and everything that's happening, you mean to tell me my $19,000 investment, or whatever I invest in, it wasn't $19,000 for me, but my $19,000 investment can now be worth $55,000, right? Like that's more than doubling, right? So my point is, and then if people panic at 55 and it went all the way down, it was 16,000 in 2022. And people were calling it a scam. And I was making podcasts and having conversations with people trying to convince them it wasn't a scam at 15 to 16,000. And where are we today? We're at 100,000 right now. That does not mean, notice at each of these heights, it went back down. So you need to adjust your time horizon to understand the risk. You're coming in at the highest price it's ever been. Now, it is expected in this cycle that it's going to continue to go up, maybe double over the next 12 months. But the thing that's tough is, especially if you're not really researching and understanding this market, that thing, when it drops, it's like a roller coaster. It drops quick. And if you're not understanding where you're at in the cycle, you're not going to be able to react quick enough. And look, money that you put in there that you thought was doing good because it doubled and you didn't take any profits, well, guess what? Now it's worth nothing, or now it's worth half. But on the flip side, if you have patience and a longer time horizon, and you study and research the market, and you can adjust and evolve your decisions as you go, because keep in mind, I don't know. I'm not God. I don't know what's happening in the world. Something can happen and this stuff can go completely horrible in the next year and be worth nothing. So that's always on the table, right? If some crazy war or something break out and who knows, right? There's always something. Jesus could come back before the end. So you have to understand like the risk is there, but if you embrace risk and volatility and you respect the risk and volatility and have a good time horizon, then that volatility also creates opportunities for you to make money, maybe take some profit out, wait for it to drop. You buy it when it drop, when everybody ain't talking about it and they think it's a scam. And then you sit around and wait for it to go to 100 or 200 or 300 or whatever. And then the headlines start going. And maybe that's when you start layering out your profits. Because remember, some people in this market were buying at 15,000. You have to keep that in mind. There were people that were investing a year ago, buying Bitcoin at 15,000, and you're walking in the door at 100, you might be the person they're selling to. So if you understand that risk, it don't mean you shouldn't buy. You should buy if you understand the risk and then you embrace the volatility. All right. Last reason why you should why you should buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Then I'm going to kind of summarize it with a couple things and give you a couple random thoughts to think about. Hey, it's simple. You want to build wealth. Now, like I said, we don't worship money here. We don't serve money. We serve God. But we also understand that there's purpose in having finances. There's purpose in having freedom and wealth. There's also purpose in defeating poverty, because I am a firm believer that poverty is ungodly. I really believe that. And the poverty mindset is ungodly. And I'm going to give you a simple way to think about this. Is the parable of the talents in Matthew 25. And what Jesus told in this parable, the master told the servant that had the one talent that dug it in the ground and did not want to really invest, because the invest is the word that was used in the New Living Translation. It was like you should have went and invested it in the banks and gained interest. My point is, biblically, when God blesses you with finances, you are called to be a good steward. And I think some of us, what happens is we are actually reckless with what God has given us. And so we've embraced poverty because we've convinced ourselves, hey, if God blessed me with $1,000, I should just go spend it because I don't love money. So we convince ourselves that being reckless with money proves that we don't love money, when actually it proves that you're enslaved to money. And so a lot of times our poverty mentality is really just proof that we haven't given our money over to God. We haven't given our finances and our financial strategy and planning over to God. We haven't released that because we love material things so much, and we need to show people what we have. That's something, when you start breaking that poverty mentality, I don't care if you got money. It's people with money that still got poverty minds, right? People who flash money in front of you, that's poverty. That's an insecurity. That's the inferiority. I couldn't get it out. I can talk, people. The inferiority complex of trying to show people what you have all the time. When you're building wealth for real, you ain't worried about nothing like that, because you got purpose behind what you're building for. There's freedom in your family. There's resources that you're trying to create, trying to relieve some of the stress that you operating in on a day-to-day basis, blowing all your money, living check to check. You have an opportunity to turn that around, and this opportunity is open to everyone. The possibilities are endless, but you do have to understand the risk, and you should not just take all your money and throw it at something that you don't understand. Understand it is super risky. You could lose all your money doing this, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But if you research and study, you can make more educated investments and have the opportunity to build wealth over time. So people ask me all the time, should I invest in Bitcoin? You should investigate. And if you kind of hit those qualifications, at least from my perspective, then you're a person that probably should start investing, but understand the risk and the opportunity. So one last time, I want to look at CoinMarketCap here because I want to show you, this is so important, man, understanding these different categories. Like, let's go to Solana ecosystem. When you go here, these are all the opportunities. So when we talk about managing risk, I want to give you an example of what I mean about managing risk. Okay, let's go with I like Jupiter. Let's go with Jupiter. All right, so Jupiter, this is like a DEX. This is where you could go and make swaps, aggregator. Basically, you could swap different Solana coins, so you can make different Solana investments on Jupiter. Let's see. I think Jupiter is less than a year old, maybe. Let's go all. Yeah, they just launched this year, right? But you see, like they launched this year, and it's been a good year overall, even though they're kind of a little down. I can't see where the original launch was at, but it's been a pretty good investment. This is one that I think will continue to do well. But you got to understand a couple things, right? This is only a $1.86 billion asset, right? So this is 1 billion. That's high, but it's not crazy. It's the number 74 largest crypto. My point here is the further you go down on the risk curve, you go further down and you start investing in stuff like a basic attention token. It's number 186. It's only a $500 million market cap. It's actually pretty good tokenomics here. But my point is, this is going to be more risky than something higher up. But you also have a better opportunity to make money make more money. But this is where you go and you read on market cap, coin market cap, what they're about, who are the founders. Basic attention token is essentially, I'm going off memory from like last year reading on this. Basic attention token is basically like a, imagine if you were going on Instagram and they were paying you to watch videos. So basic attention token is something like that, where you can watch these videos and kind of make money for your attention. It's monetizing the attention. And the idea behind it, at least part of it, is, hey, you're going online, making all these videos viral every day and watching all this stuff. What if we could pay you to watch things? So the one thing I want you to keep in mind is the way the internet works today is, like, think about YouTube. You got all these people that's viral on YouTube, and YouTube is really keeping most of the money from the ads, and then these people can monetize their page and they can make some money. But that's really centralized, where YouTube controls everything. The really interesting thing about blockchain technology is it creates opportunities for people to decentralize, normalize things that you see today and actually pay the people who participate in rewards. So that's the big difference. YouTube doesn't pay you to watch. Imagine all the attention you've given YouTube if they paid you to watch. I'm going to show you one last thing since I brought that up. Because I think this is a good point. I'm going to go to Theta. There's a token called Theta. If I remember correctly, Theta is, they're trying to create like YouTube. Let me look at their website to make sure I got the right. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to it and then share it and then show y'all. I'm just showing y'all opportunities out here. This is how crazy, how many opportunities out here. So Theta is the decentralized cloud for AI, media, and entertainment, right? So you start looking and thinking about like what their goals are, and it might have changed since I last looked at it. Let me see if they actually show you about. Guided by experience in AI media, the Theta team is made up of experienced technologists and executives from Salesforce, Netflix, Amazon, Samsung, Vimeo. All right, you see their team. This ain't giving me what all right, I got another one. Sorry, that ain't giving me what I was looking for. But I want to show y'all something else. I just want to show y'all these opportunities. The number 18 crypto is called SWI. And this is an interesting one to me, something to research. So SWI, let's see what this is about. SWI. SWI is a groundbreaking layer 1 blockchain platform designed to support the needs of global adoption by offering a secure, powerful, and scalable development platform. That's not what's important. Who are the founders of SWI? This is what's important. Miston Labs, the original contributor to SWI, was founded by former lead architects of Meta's blockchain research team. These people came from Facebook. That's what I really want to show you there. This SWI, they came from Facebook, Facebook was creating their own blockchain and the government stopped them. And when the government stopped them, they had built some good stuff. So those two teams went and split into two different teams, one for Sui, one for Aptos. And Sui is building a layer one blockchain with these people from Facebook who had this amazing technology. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up and say this. What you hopefully got from today, because it was a lot. I know I threw a lot out there. And again, this probably ain't the best video from like how you're supposed to do a video, but I believe there's a lot of substance here. And I'm really just trying to throw a bunch at you to pique your interest and hopefully help you to get involved in investing and researching investing to potentially change your life and become a better steward of your finances. But the thing that I'm trying to show you is don't be last or late to the party. So many times what happened is us common folk, us poor people from the hood, the people who was born with nothing, we go out there, we learn all the dances, we learn all the rap songs, we learn all this stuff that provides no value, and we give zero time to things that can change our lives. Meanwhile, these wealthy people, what I was trying to show you today is that the wealthy people are already in it. So the rich are going to get richer, but you got to do something to change something. You have an opportunity. It's nothing stopping you because you black. It's nothing stopping you because you a woman, because you this or you that. And I think that's important because so many people in the world today want to tell you what you can't do because of what you are, because of what your grandparents and what they went through. And God bless them. I love them. And thank God for all the work and stuff they put in. But I'm living in 2024. Ain't nothing stopping me from investing because I'm black. Stop telling yourself what you can't do. Stop believing all the woke stuff. Like you have an opportunity right now to learn something that could change your family's life. You have an opportunity to be first. Maybe not first, because people been here. But you have an opportunity to be early, and ain't nothing stopping you, bruh. Imagine having an opportunity and nothing stopping you. And I'm going to say this. The reason I'm doing this video now, like I told y'all in the beginning, I got videos about crypto from 3 years ago. I've been talking about this stuff. I'm really just taking advantage of the fact that everybody cares about it to share with y'all what I've been sharing and nobody was paying attention. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe. Share this with somebody that you think has the opportunity to change their life. Maybe y'all could change y'all lives together. Feel free, hit me up. Like I said, comment on the page, all that. I'm not going to be able to follow up and answer every question, especially not DMs and stuff. I'm just a little too busy for that. I apologize. But for a small fee, anyway, I'm joking. But hopefully this helps you, man. I'm really just trying to give more than I take from the world. That's like my whole goal. It's like I want to give more than I take. Jason, some of them aren't videos. Let me share this before we jump off, since you weren't on there. If you go to Apple Podcasts, or if you have Spotify, or my podcast is also on Audible, Inspire God's People. If you go to Inspire God's People, I want to say it was episode 146. So let's see. I got a bunch of episodes that they were not a part of the, I wasn't doing video yet back in the day. So I've been doing this podcast for a few years. So if you go to episode, this from like, let's see, 2021, I think, episode 146. All right. So you see here, episode 149 is entitled NFTs, non-fungible tokens for regular people. We did that. Episode 146, cryptocurrency for regular people, not dummies. That was 2021. I was talking about this. Welcome to the metaverse, back in episode 143. A lot has changed on that since then. But my point is, check out Inspire God's People, man. And on our archives, if you go to my podcast, I got a whole archive of a few hundred episodes that are audio and not video, but it's life-changing content. I believe that. I stand by that. It's not the most viral content. It's not the most liked. It ain't whatever, but it's life-changing. I believe that. It's testimonies that prove that. People all across the world that have hit me up, people have started businesses, people have started investing. I'm really just trying to be a catalyst to light and ignite a fire. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to do it regardless of whether you do it or not, people. I'm going to do what I'm called to do. Yeah. No doubt, man. I appreciate you, Jason. Hey, look, love y'all. God bless y'all, man. Y'all definitely have a beautiful day. Will, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? No doubt, man. Hit me up. I'll definitely. One of the things I would love to know from people is what more y'all want to know, and then sometimes the best way for me to like kind of answer all the questions. That's kind of what I did the last couple of weeks. I was seeing what people were asking. I figured I'd do a video kind of addressing a lot of things, but definitely hit me up, bro, and let me know like what you're interested in knowing or what I didn't touch on the video. I literally love talking about this stuff, to be honest. So it's like I could sit here and do a video for another hour, but I know that it just might be too much. So, but I love talking about this. I love thinking through it. I don't know everything. I'm not trying to act like I know everything. I'm really just trying to give people the information that what I will tell you is that I have put in hundreds of hours over the past 4 years to equip and educate myself on what this is. Especially, I think it's important as believers too, to understand where the world is going, to know like, do you want to invest in something? Do you not? Do what? Like a lot of times as believers, we sit on the sidelines and we just like have assumptions about things. What I've tried to do is educate myself thoroughly about this stuff. And again, it's still, I'm not a technologist or a developer, so there are some things that can go over my head. I'm not a technical analysis, financial guy, so that can go over my head. I'm a business guy. I'm practical. But I love this stuff and I love the opportunity. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Love y'all. God bless y'all, man. Please do subscribe on YouTube to inspire God's people. I'm continuing to evolve and grow the content I have. I got a lot of plans and thoughts and ideas, and I'm just navigating it through life, bruh. I ain't rushing. I got a longer time horizon. Lord willing, I'm just sharing this information and trying to grow together as we go. And like I said, I'm gonna do what I'm talking about. So long as I do what I'm saying in real life, I'll be good. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. I'm trying to share as much as I can along the way. Love y'all. God bless y'all. Have a beautiful day, man.